We gotta put the doors on. Still gotta put the doors on. Man, the grass grew so fast. We literally just got it mowed last week. Beginning of last week. Gotta put the doors on still. Maybe when we come back, we'll do that. And then I gotta put some more stickers on these over here, because these already don't have stickers as we're starting to rotate some of the dumpsters in and out. But we got 2 to deliver real quick as for right now. So let's go. Let me close this door. Man, look at that. That's gorgeous. Vacation over here or what? I'll get up. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Bro, the background behind you is so pretty. It's crazy. It's beautiful out here, man. What's up, man? Huh? No. I don't want to. No, I could drive forward. No, I don't want. Yeah. I'm gonna put you I'm gonna upgrade you some pads real quick.
What's that?
I'm gonna put some little protectors for the driveway for you. Get you some rolly skates there, man. It's beautiful out here, bro.
Oh yeah, it's fun outside here.
There's about 20 other dumpster companies here. I gotta go hit them all up. Start using American AF.
What I use, baby.
I appreciate that, man. This your new house?
What is it not? You know I don't make no money, dude.
Well, none of us do. Unfortunately, not this kind. But we will. That good? Good? Y'all going swimming or y'all working? What are you doing?
We're doing that boat dock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Storms.
That's what you're doing here?
Yeah. We did that porch. We had to tear it all down and restuck all it and everything.
Really?
We've had to carry them all from up here.
Was rotting there or something or what?
So the storm.
Oh.
Look, all of it was washed up down the fucking yard, dude.
The water came all the way up here?
The waves were coming all the way up in the pool.
No shit.
Yeah. I mean, I know.
I'm talking about like.
But I know all the builders out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just a little tipsy. But aren't we all? Alright, so today we're going to do a little bit of Q&A as far as just questions that have been asked on the channel, on some of the DMs that I get, or instant messages or messages I get on Facebook. First one's going to be from Wyatt Smith. Wyatt asks, can I not jib back a concrete dumpster on the Stellar in my Kenworth truck? So these tandems, right, these tandem hook lifts are not like cable trucks, right, at the end of the day. So the tandems can haul 16-foot cans, most of them, some of them, this one at least, and so can International. The International can haul 16-foot cans to 22-foot cans. However, when you pull up a 16-foot can, you can't jib it forward very much because you're only going to have that little bit of play towards the end because of length, right? So when you pull it up, you jib it forward just a little bit so that the rear locks engage, or the tabs engage under the lockers, and that's all you can do, because if you pull it forward more, you have the potential to where the dumpster can sit in front of the rollers and drop into the rails, and then you're not able to take it out. So that is kind of the issue. So with the concrete dumpsters, when you see me dumping a 16-foot at the rock yard, if I dump it right where it's at, or right where it needs to be so that the rear lockers can lock into place and it goes into dump mode, all the rocks end up falling on my back bumper and damaging my bumper. So what I'll do sometimes is I put it in kind of unload mode, so it's a little bit less of an angle. It doesn't dump very well. It gets very close to the ground. And yeah, that's the kind of way I do it to try to protect the bumper, even though I've already smashed up my bumper pretty good. You guys can see that some of my reflective tape has been tore off. I messed up my air hose connector back there. That kind of got messed up, but I did fix it over the weekend. But yeah, so if you slide it any more forward, it can drop in and then you have a hard time getting it out. You have to get a forklift or something to lift it up. So no, you can't slide forward, but it has nothing to do with being a concrete dumpster. It has everything to do with it only being a 16-foot long dumpster. So that's why I've ordered and I have new 22-foot dumpsters for concrete, specifically for concrete, so I can haul them in this truck and in the international. They're really heavy-duty specs, so yeah, there's an answer. All right, Leanne asked on one of my videos, what percentage of our dumpster rentals would I say, or would we say that end in a failed pickup or a dry run? And honestly, I would say probably no more than 2 to 3%. Like, it's pretty minimal. And I'll tell you why. For the most part, we've learned over the years that as long as we communicate with the customer, it's all about the communication, 100%. You know, we give the customer two different options when they book a dumpster with us. One, they can either have the dumpster automatically picked up on the 7th day or at the end of their dumpster rental. If they have a 30-yard, it's 10 days. Or two, we leave it open-ended, meaning they have to call us and let us know when they want us to pick it up. So if it's an automatic pickup, or even if they call us and tell us it's ready for pickup, we will give the driver, we'll give the customer a call before he leaves or when he's on the way to pick up that dumpster. The times that we have had a dry run are A, we forgot, or B, for some reason the customer may not have answered the phone and we went anyways. But for the most part, that eliminates a lot of the dry runs. It's a little more time consuming. The good thing is it's not on the company, it's on the driver to make sure that he calls. But it saves him time, it saves the company fuel, and it saves ultimately an upset customer that we charge them a dry run when, you know, it just takes a couple seconds to make a phone call. So at the end of the day, that has really kind of saved us from having a lot of dry runs, especially out here. You got to understand, I mean, we just delivered a dumpster that's an hour and a half round trip, you know what I'm saying? So things are so far and our coverage area is so large that we want to call ahead of time before we go out there. Hey, you left it open, huh? So Colton asks, would 15 yards be a good size to start out with? 15-yard dumpsters. And that really just depends on your equipment. What can your equipment handle? It's kind of an open-ended question a little bit. Are you starting out with just one or multiple? I know I started out with a 15-yard cargo trailer. 15 yards is a decent size for like home clean out. And again, with a 15-yard, you can do not just renting it out as a dumpster, but you can also do junk removal. You could do material delivery, like rock or mulch or something like that. So it's pretty versatile. 15 yards is a good size. I wouldn't probably go smaller or recommend to go smaller. If anything, I would say it's a very close tie between 15 yard and 20 yards. Me personally, if I were to do it all over again, I probably would go all 20 yards even. But I kind of like the way I did it. When I first bought my first 5 dumpsters from Keystone, after I had sold my cargo trailers and my dump trailers, I went with 2 15-yard dumpsters and 3 20-yard dumpsters. So I did 5 altogether, and I really think that was a pretty healthy mix. of the two. Granted, if somebody really wants a 15-yard and all you have available is a 20-yard, well, then you can easily upgrade them to a 20-yard dumpster. No one has ever complained to me about receiving a 20-yard instead of a 15. They're the same footprint, at least the ones I buy are all the same footprint, so they're all, either 14 or 16 feet long. It's just a height that's a little bit different. And I'll be honest with you too, 90% of our customers that are homeowners have absolutely no idea what a 15-yard or a 20-yard is. So lots of times we have to explain to them, the dimensions, or that, it could fit in the parking space. A lot of people kind of ask that question. And again, we talk to them in our industry terms, but they have no idea how many or how big is a 15 or a 20-yard. But definitely 15-yard is a good size, in my opinion. 15s and 20s are very, very good to start out with. All right, so John says that you have to be cheaper than your competition, bottom line. And I could not disagree with that statement more. The only time that I would agree with that statement is if we were talking about guaranteeing that you're going to be going out of business. Plain and simple. Because A, you really shouldn't even care what your competition is charging. While you should know, right? It's a good rule of thumb to definitely know what your competition is charging, or where you fall as far as others in the industry in your area. And that's really important too. Make sure that you are comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges. I'm not going to compare somebody in New York or California or Oklahoma even to my prices here in the DFW Metroplex, right? That is just so wrong on so many levels. You get these guys on the junk removal pages or these other dumpster pages and say, hey, what do you charge for so and so? And it has zero relevance to what you charge or you should charge in your own area, right? If I put on there, what would you charge for a 30-yard dumpster? I'm going to get answers from people all over the country. And it makes zero sense, first of all, because dump fees are 100% different in other parts of the country, let alone expenses, fuel, all that stuff. And then on top of that, to just say that you have to be the cheapest, that's just a rat race to the bottom. And while there are some people that maybe gloat or say that their entire model of success is being the cheapest, those are the first people to be like, I can't pay my bills, or I can't afford to fix my trucks, or I can't afford to scale or grow, because they're not putting away enough money to count for the slow periods. Whether you're the cheapest or not, what you really need to do is make sure that you have healthy profit margins and really know your numbers as far as what your costs are. Because without knowing that, how are you going to know what to charge? Like, if I don't know that it costs $3.20 to make a pizza and I own a pizza shop, how am I going to know that I can get away with a $5.99 Little Caesars deal? Whatever. I don't know. I'm just using an example, but you've got to know what your costs are in order to say, okay, well, I want to be able to have a healthy profit margin of 10, 15, 20, 30, 50%, whatever whatever your profit margin goal is. And the other thing is, as you scale your business, as you continue to hire employees and you get an office location, all that stuff, the more your profit margin goes down for the most part, because your costs and your expenses go up, unless you keep adding to your profit margin. And if your market can sustain it, if your market is willing to pay for it, well, then by all means do it. Sometimes charging more and having less work is more profitable than being cheap and getting in all the work that you can handle, because at the end of the day, like, working harder for less money. So sorry, bro, like, I appreciate your comment, but I'm not buying it. that good there? Ow, I just hit my knee. Let's go. We are done for the day. All right, so we are done for the day. It was a quick day for us. Didn't have much to do. Well, we had a bunch to do. Computer work, but then I had a Zoom meeting, and then we went out to do a couple dumpsters. So we didn't even start till like 2 o'clock. So it's almost 5:30 now. So we are calling it a day. If you guys got any questions, we're gonna start doing these a little more often, probably once every other week or so. So if you got any questions, make sure that you guys ask anything that I can answer. I'll answer as truthful as I can. Otherwise, I will lie through my teeth. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, smash the notification bell. We out.